Set him free now. If not for people like him, we would not know the hospital was doing illegal crap. I agree. Totally agree. Totally agree. This man is a hero, in my opinion, because there's so few healthcare workers that speak up. And it's not because I believe that they're corrupt. It comes down to a couple of things. One, it's because they've been trained so much that whatever the Lancet says, whatever my organization says, I just do what they say. Whatever American Medical Association says, American Nursing Association, whatever society, this endocrine society or whatever it is, they're all saying the same thing. They're all part of the problem. But what it shows when nurses and doctors just go along with it is that they're not critically thinking. So the people that will end up ruining the healthcare system the most is all the people that remain silent. And it's not because they're necessarily corrupt. It's because even if they do critically think and realize, no, we shouldn't be doing this, they won't speak up. And I would say the number one reason they won't speak up is because of the paycheck. And they figure that it's not going to change. So that's how that's why I brought up the Auschwitz guards so much lately, because that's how you get to that place. It's not like overnight Hitler had these doctors and was able to pull all this off and millions were murdered. It was a slow process into that. And there were nurses that were so brainwashed that they believed in what Hitler was doing, that the country should be cleansed of a certain type of people. And so there were very few nurses that hung at the Nuremberg trials, but for every single one that did, every single one, they hung. Every single one of them said, I was just doing what I was told. Never should a healthcare worker use that excuse. Never. Because you are in a position as a nurse or a doctor that you are supposed to critically think. That doesn't mean you just believe what your organization says. It doesn't mean you just believe what experts in the Lancet says. It means you do your own thinking. And most of this is a common sense thing. The problem is that people just will remain silent, and that's why I said 4 years ago I don't know how healthcare will ever recover. I get so many people in my comment section that say I'll never trust the healthcare system again. And I don't try to talk them out of it. I don't blame them. Because look at this, one doctor exposed this. Literally, a hospital told the public that they were no longer doing these surgeries on children and then did it anyway, behind closed doors. And yet, there's only one doctor in that healthcare system that speaks up. No, where's the nurses? Where's the nurse? All of you people are supposed to be able to critically think. Why aren't you standing with this man? He's a hero, in my opinion. And this is what the hospitals will do. I've experienced it. It's very disturbing. It's been upsetting ever since I've experienced it. I've experienced it at more than one place too. Is that it becomes it's like this gut wrenching, horrible feeling if you do the right thing. Seriously, if you stand up and do the right thing, because you think, oh God, this isn't going to go well, and that's not how it should be. But I learned that long ago in healthcare. So because everybody just goes along, then it continues to get worse and worse and worse. And then you get to this place where hospitals think, we'll just do this behind closed doors. We'll lie to the public. Great way to totally destroy trust, totally and completely. Because even if the people at the bedside are just, they're not necessarily corrupt, because they kept their mouths shut, because they didn't speak up and take a risk and risk your paycheck when it comes to if you're a doctor or nurse, that's how you get to where the public doesn't trust. Because then the public goes into the healthcare system and it's like, well, how do I know that this is a nurse I can trust? Is she a nurse that's willing to speak up? Is she a nurse that critically thinks? Or is this a doctor? Same thing with the doctors. So that's how you ruin it. I mean, as much as I blame the professional organizations, and they are the big part of the problem here, the other problem is the people that just look the other way. If you think about all the people in that hospital when he's the only doctor that spoke up, think about all the people that look the other way. And I'm sure what their attitude is, well, it's never going to change anyway, so it doesn't matter. Nothing's going to happen to me. Well, if you can live with yourself, that's fine. I mean, it doesn't make you any different than the CEOs and the chief financial officers, not in my opinion. Because that attitude is one of, well, this is what they told me to do. You can't blame me. You can't blame me. I was just told this by the science. I trust the experts. Okay, but then should you really be in nursing? Should you really be a doctor? Because, I mean, one of the biggest, most important things to do as a nurse or a doctor is to critically think on your own and not leave all your thinking with the Lancet or the medical journals or the experts. Yeah, it's disturbing. And this is why it's like for all the healthcare professionals, because I've come across them that have agreed with gender affirming care on youth. I've studied them as a psych nurse, not studied them, but I mean, value, just, you start watching people and it's not because they're corrupt, it's because they believe whatever they're told. And so they most of it, that's what it is. But there's more people that don't agree with it on kids. It's just that they won't speak up, and they figure it won't change if they speak up, so why should they? Well, because this is what ends up happening, is that you're in a totally corrupt system that's only going to get more corrupt the more you stay silent. So it'd be better to take a risk here and speak up. Yeah, where's all the leaders? Where's the nursing leadership at this fucking hospital, huh? Where are they? Why aren't they standing with him? Yeah, some real not courageous nurses there, huh? That think, well, it's not my problem. Not my problem. I have nothing to do with it. I can't help what the government does, what the hospital does, what my organization does. Yeah? You do have something you could do. You could speak up, can't you? If you're a nurse, you're supposed to be a strong advocate. You're supposed to be a voice of truth. Yeah. I mean, there was a time for decades that nurses were at the top of the list for being the most trusted profession. Do you know how much they've fallen since then? And why? Because of the people in the system that stay silent.